So it looks like this is a preview from ULTRAKILL for the music in 7.1. I've never heard this. I'm really curious. I've really been enjoying ULTRAKILL's soundtrack. So I'm curious to hear what The World Looks White and The World Looks Red sounds like. Here we go. This is cool because it doesn't start off, it's weird. For whatever reason, it starts off kind of hopeful. Boom, bing, ding, ding, bing, ding, ding. But if you listen to the background in those strings, we turn the dial and suddenly the pitch dips. And it kind of makes us feel a little bit like, should I be here right now? Like, this is uncomfortable. And it's a bit almost creepy. Yeah. I actually think that this music choice too gives us a feeling of introspection and reflection on what's happening and what's occurred and what's going to occur. It's sort of like there's a little bit of innocence in the sound, but there's also this kind of feeling of creepy crawly and man, like life has changed a lot and like things feel a little weird. You know what I mean? Like there's an edge of discomfort in here, which is really satisfying. Tension in the strings. So we have the same effect that we had earlier with that pitch knob. Now we've got it in the strings, and it actually causes it to feel even more distressful. Shift. A bubbling buildup here causes tension. We're growing in volume, we're swelling in volume. Louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. I'll pull all the way back. It's an interesting thing because this piece of music, it actually sounds like something you would hear out of a music box, which normally music boxes are beautiful things for children that you could gift them to partners, and they're supposed to express like the power and gentility of music, and they're really subtle and gentle and calm. And in this case, there is an edge of malice in it that's really, really evocative. And then that string is completely dissonant from this. Hear it? It's dipping in pitch. And this is a countdown. This is a clock chiming. It's a countdown. The clock strikes midnight. Something's going on. Bubbling under the surface, and joke, I wish I could hear this in a concert hall. I wish I could hear this in a concert hall with real instruments, and I wish I could hear this in a concert hall and just sit in the audience and just look at everybody's face, because this plus Tenebre Rosso Sangue is delightful. It is uncomfortable. It's a bit visceral. There's an emotional reaction there. There's a sadness in this, and like a feeling of, it feels like decay, and it feels like loss of life. And it feels like suffering turned to music, and it feels extremely introspective, but with a quiet, vengeful rage. And it feels like sadness coursing through the veins with a mixture of anger. And it deserves, I think, to be heard in a symphony hall with a full instrument that's not MIDI, because you hear the strings, you hear the organ, you hear this yada 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 yada. It's very, very painful. And actually, now I haven't heard all of ULTRAKILL's soundtrack, but there is actually a sadness in here that I haven't heard in other tracks. Every other track seems to be kind of intense. It moves at a pretty quick clip, and it's very intense. But in this case, this is very, very slow and very, angsty contemplation. Yada, 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 yada. You hear how angsty that vocal line is, or whatever instrument that ends up being. But then on top of that, you have the organ going on underneath. You know what I'm saying? The organ underneath is keeps up that virility and that sense of musical violence that we've come to know, while being pulled back in a feeling of deep reflection. That's really cool. What I like about this is that there's a genuine respect for dissonance in this, and it doesn't sound like over bloated or overly like ugly. There is beauty within the soundscape of anger and sadness and depression, and it doesn't feel juvenile. It doesn't feel like half-assed. It's a very deep composition, and I'm really excited to hear this in context, and I'm really excited to hear this when it comes in game. This, of course, was just a music preview of 7-1. You know more about that than I do, but I hope that you found this pretty informative. This is early days in this, but I figured, Hakita posted it, and I wanted to take a listen to it because I have been enjoying ULTRAKILL, and hey, might as well keep up with it. So if you like this sort of stuff, there's more ULTRAKILL on the channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, join the Discord if you'd like. There's also links in the About section if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you later. Bye.